All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Today's soap session is going to be going over things like going and creating, forming bonds in your organizations, and briefly touching on how to work through conflict. So, this program and all of the things coming out of student organization support team are all from this team that I'm showing you here. So, we have Mallory Bayan, who is the Assistant Director for Student Organization Support, Fraternity and Sorority Life, and the Cherry Program. We have Travaris Peterson, he is the coordinator. And then you have myself, Adriana, and Joanna, and we are the Student Organization Support interns. So one of the many ways that we offer out our help and support to you all is by hosting office hours via Zoom. So any organization member or advisor can stop on by if you all are having any kind of difficulty, or if you all just have questions, you can go ahead and stop by. We have them on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And you can see that we have them on different times depending on the day. And the meeting ID and passcode is there as well. But if for whatever reason these days or times do not work, please feel free to send us an email and we can set something up. If you're wanting the specific Zoom link, it can be found on the SCLC website under the SOS section under the tab SOS resources. Yeah, so just a quick overview about today's session. So in a nutshell, we'll be going over to how to best form meaningful and respectful friendships within your organization. And then again, briefly, how to work through conflict. And for each, just sharing quick activities that you all can incorporate to best connect with one another. So just to kind of get us started on, the importance of these kinds of relationships and just maintaining good, just good and friendly behavior between one another is all comes down to human connection. We know we need it. And if the pandemic has shown us anything, it was the importance of maintaining friendships and connections to all loved ones and colleagues in whatever way, right? We had to learn how to do this virtually, and in that required a lot of creativity on how you best stay connected with those you care about. um, and with that, it holds true for our student organizations. As leaders, we all had to take it upon ourselves to figure out how we could still provide a meaningful experience to all of our members, even though we wouldn't be seeing each other in person. And I just also wanted to extend a big, congrats. I applaud you for navigating this past year virtually. I know it had its challenges. There's a lot of ups and downs that came with running student orgs virtually. But now that we're kind of nearing more the end now, it's something to look forward to. And with that being said, it was hard trying to maintain and uphold relationships and connections with, friends and members in student orgs when Zoom or any other kind of like virtual meeting platform was the only way to stay connected. And it also just so happened to be the platforms we didn't want to spend more time on because, we're already tired from, if you had classes and things like that. So lots of hard stuff to navigate. Very proud of each and every one of you for getting through it and, coming here to this day. So, how do we maintain friendships? So, just providing you all with some quick tips and how you can apply it within your organization. And it kind of overall comes down to these four basic things. So, you maintain friendships by being a good listener, being genuine, being consistent, and being respectful. I'll be getting into each of these in the next couple slides. So, first, being a good listener, there's a big difference between hearing and listening. You can hear what people are saying and talking about, but it makes a difference when you actually take the time to listen and be an active listener. So, that could be things like asking questions and playing an active role in all of your conversations. So, staying engaged and staying focused on the conversations you have at hand. So, within your organization, this can be in things like encouraging your members to speak before meetings. So, asking them how their day went, how their classes are going, how they're doing personally. Or maybe you come prepared with like a question of the day and you have all your members either send it in the chat or turn on their mics just to, kind of start breaking the ice, get the meeting started on a positive note. Another thing that you can incorporate other people's ideas and things like that is share those ways they can talk with you outside of org events. So how can you make yourself available for them to connect with you if they want to? So, if you have a group meet, sharing that with them. If you're comfortable sharing your phone number or sharing your social media, so that if there's something that pops up outside of the time that you all are meeting, they can easily go ahead and connect with you in that. And kind of touching on social media, interact where you can. If you follow each other, don't be shy. Comment, like their things, encourage them, comment with them, just to show that you're more than just an officer or a member in an org. You're their friend as well. And with the conversations you have, don't get distracted, be present. No one wants to see that you're fidgeting or that you're distracted and not quite really listening to the things they have to say, especially if they're coming to you as more of a friend. You never know how much that conversation means to them or how much they need it. So it's just something to keep in mind. And obviously, if someone's coming to talk to you, keep the focus on them. So, an activity I'd like to try with you all, since there's not too many of us on the call, is in a nutshell, just called interviews. So you can tell your members to come to a meeting with the funniest interview questions they can make up or find. You would set up breakout rooms and randomly sort them to allow for new faces to meet. And not only is it good interview prep, but it's a cool icebreaker. So um, if you all don't mind, you all can send this in the chat as well. You don't have to unmic yourselves, but if you are comfortable, unmute yourselves and we can talk about it. One question that I've received personally that I really enjoyed was, um, how would you best describe your leadership style, and what animal do you feel best, encaptures that or is the best representation for it? Um, so I'd love to hear what you all have to think on that. I'll give you all like a minute or two to kind of think on it, see what leadership style or those leadership points that you all like to keep in mind, and then thinking about an animal that would best represent that. While everyone is thinking, I hope, or typing, I want to say that mine, the first time I was asked this, I had no idea how I was going to answer this. I'd never been asked this before. It's very unique. Um, but I said a monkey, mainly because we see that they're very human like, and they care for one another deeply. And thinking about myself as a leader, I like to lead knowing or sharing that people know, that I genuinely care about how they're doing, their well-being, and that I'm keeping, when I'm at least in a position, right? Like let's say in an officer position, I'm keeping their needs as my top priority. I'm doing everything to make sure that they're getting the best out of their experience. And taking care where I can. So that would be my response to that answer. I don't know if you all, maybe now having heard mine, feel like you might have an answer. If not, don't worry, I understand. Being on Zoom can be kind of hard to share. So I'll give you all a minute or two if you all are typing, or again, if someone wants to unmute themselves, that'd be cool too. All right. Well, I know it was, kind of silent on your all's end. That's totally cool. Hopefully you all can, potentially use this when you're at your own organization meetings, seeing how this can best work for you all. I can see it would be really fun to, just randomly sort those breakout rooms if you're using Zoom. Um, and just, have two people kind of interview one another, to get to learn, something new, especially if they're not someone they've met already. And again, it's cool interview prep, it's different. Oh yeah, please go ahead and unmic yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Unmute yourself, sorry.
no, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I'd say that my leadership style is more so I feel like I have kind of a really difficult time, like social anxiety kind of, I'd say. I get pretty awkward and things like that, but and so I think a lot of the things that I usually do is I just get very straight to the point, and just say what needs to be said, and more so of that. And I'm not too sure what animal would really represent that.
Uh-huh.
I'd say a lot of them are pretty straight to the point. They get what they need to get done.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so easy to think about how you are as a leader because that's something you think about and are actively doing. But when you try to think about an animal that could accurately represent that, it's kind of, I think that's what makes it fun. It's a cool icebreaker kind of question because it's not the
Yeah.
expected question.
I agree too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Um, so yeah, just like we had that little conversation now talking about our responses, that's something you all can utilize. Um, should you choose to use this activity. So I hope you all find that interesting. So just going on and moving forward with the next quality towards, maintaining and fostering good relationships is being genuine. So just being yourself. So you want to make sure that when you're interacting with people that you're staying true to your values, being who you truly are, not changing up your personality, and also while seeing how they align with the organization, never changing either or to accommodate. Um, you want to make sure that, who you are as a person is being demonstrated in the kind of work you're doing and making sure that that's best representing your organization at the same time. So, in terms of friendships, being genuine means having good intentions for the other person that you're forming this friendship with. So that's, forming that friendship for the sake of meeting new people and extending the bond outside of the org. So, never going in and thinking like, oh, I'm just going to friend this person because I want to get their support when I choose to run. You want to make sure you have good intentions when you're moving forward. And, just genuinely wanting to become friends with people that might have like minds, similar opinions since you are in the same organization. So I have two activities here that allow you all to show who you really are in terms of, personality and things like that. So one of them is called favorite things. So you can kind of see I have the instructions there. So in a nutshell, favorite things is you'll give everyone 5 minutes to find objects that fit descriptions that you all can, describe and set up depending on the kind of conversations you're trying to foster. Um, at the end of the 3 minutes, those um, you regroup all together and you get sent out into breakout rooms. This helps kind of ease that anxiety of speaking in a large group. Um, and it allows for better conversations and someone's going to be cutting into each other's time. And yeah, and you'll just keep going through that. You can set up as many items as you'd like to share. So I know when I personally set up this activity, I did things like something that represents who you are. Another one was something that represents the future you'd like to have. Think we did another one, something that represents a favorite memory. So obviously those can be, people can choose to share something very lighthearted, easy, funny, or they can choose to open up and share something that's maybe a little closer to their heart. So that's an activity that can be customized, to depend on the kind of conversation again that you're trying to create and the type of bond you're hoping to open up. The next one is called Seconds Impressions. So again, this one requires breakout rooms. And essentially, you would just flash like different questions on the screen. So things like dream job, something people should know about you when they meet you, and all expenses paid, no corona present. Where are you traveling? Um, excuse me. And these questions or these prompts, again, are just meant to, kind of serve as icebreakers, get conversation going. You never know, especially if breakout rooms are randomly sorted, who you're going to be paired with and what you might learn about someone new if you haven't already spoken to them before. Um, both of these activities, you could definitely set up to make it like a long thing, icebreakers, throw it in at the end or beginning of a meeting, or make it into a social and have a bunch of these put together. Um, I personally really have enjoyed doing these myself. These were prompts like with second impressions that I personally have used. And I saw that it ended up leading to a lot of good conversation and good relationships that stemmed from leaving the activity. So, take note. And there's a lot of activities out there that are like this that, it just takes a little bit of time to do the research to find those activities that would work best for your organization, but can still be a lot of fun. So, moving on, the next big quality would be being consistent, being there when you say you will. So, we know that friends are always there, and being a friend means you're being committed towards becoming someone's support system. Uh, you never want to, be someone that feels like you're never there for them or that you're very absent in their lives, especially if this is some kind of friendship or relationship that you hold dear to. Obviously, you're going to want to act on it and make it the other person know that you genuinely care. um, and in terms of the organization, if you say you'll be there, be there. So when you're planning things, make sure that you're attending where you can, letting people know when you can't, and always being very transparent on the time you have. Um, and because you never want to be seen as unreliable, you never want to be seen as very absent again. Um, and yeah, I think it goes without saying that in general, we all just want to be very consistent in terms of when we show up and always showing up when we say that we will. Next, I think one of the biggest ones, and this holds true for any kind of, friendship, relationship, both professional or personal, that you'd like to maintain, is you want to be respectful of time, lives, and everything else you would need to be respectful and mindful of. So, when setting up times for any event or a meeting, think about the time that you're asking for. Does everyone really have the time to be, if you're asking for like 2, 3 hours long? Obviously, sometimes it comes down to it, and that's exactly how much time you're going to need. But, just being mindful of what you're asking for. You want to be accommodating of different lives, different responsibilities, because you never know what people's schedules may look like. Because, we think of typical college students. As those, that are anywhere from the typical college age from 18 to about 22, 23. So they may not have the most amount of responsibilities, but again, you never know. You don't know the kind of job they may have, or family responsibilities, or other responsibilities they may have going on, that may be taking up a lot of their time as it is. So just being and finding those ways to be more inclusive of different lifestyles, different, you know, time schedules, and things like that. And with that, being respectful, a big part of this is always being willing to be open to their suggestion and feedback. So, making it be known that if something doesn't work for them, if their schedule just simply does not allow for it, make sure that you're open and letting it be known that if something comes up, that you can be that person that they come and talk to, or if something's going wrong, that at the same time they can come to you and talk to you about it. So there's a quick activity that goes along with being respectful. So it's to kind of help you all get an understanding what respect is and looks like for each individual person. So it just requires you all developing a list of sentences that your members need to finish, like I feel the most respected when, and some typical answers could be when I am listened to in the classroom, etc. Whatever else fits them in terms of how they feel respected. Another sentence could be, I feel respected at school. And then they have some answer choices in terms. And then the last few are, to me, respect sounds like, and they could list things like when you're being asked a particular question and your name is mentioned. To me, respect looks like, and to me, respects feels like. This is again a great activity to kind of get conversation going and understanding healthy boundaries that each person would like to be upheld, and how to best respect one another. I think, everyone at a very basic level understands how to respect one another, but this activity kind of helps you kind of further that understanding in terms of what respect looks like and what other people would like to have in friendships or any kind of, professional relationship as well. And just to go through handling conflict, you never want to tackle it alone. So, as much as we may try, sometimes conflict just happens because we have a lot of strong personalities, a lot of, people just genuinely might clash. And, at the very basic level, we're all students and we're all humans. So, disagreements happen all the time, but you should never have to handle it alone. So, be talking to your officers, be talking to your members, invite your advisor to these conversations in which you're handling conflict, to just have like a mediator, someone who can objectively sit there and listen to the problems and help you all facilitate those conversations. Another great resource that we have on campus is CAPS, the Counseling and Psychological Services. Um, Again, they're here to help you all in whatever in whatever way you may need. So, and us, we may be able to help you all. Um, Again, be mediators, facilitate those conversations you all might need to be having. And next, just lastly, some quick tips for conflict in a nutshell. When you're in those conversations, breathe, take a minute, reflect on what's being said. You want to make sure you're staying as level headed as possible, staying very calm. And you want to make sure you're avoiding making any direct attacks. You want to address the problem, don't come for the person. If particular behavior is being seen, address the behavior, not the person. Avoid calling them out. The next best thing would be to keep it off of social media. You don't want to be subtweeting anyone or indirectly messaging anyone and just kind of throwing um, shade, if you will, at the behavior that you're seeing. And be mindful of the surroundings when you're having these conversations. For instance, you wouldn't want to have a conversation about conflict in which you're trying to sort something out at a general meeting, or if someone's getting upset, having all of your members see it. It's not the best situation because you never know how that's going to influence everyone, and it's not going to foster or encourage a positive um, an actual useful conversation. So I know that this kind of session kind of flies by, with them only being 30 minutes, but please know that the support is there even outside of these programs. We're always here for any kind of problems or support that you all may need from us. I wanted to go ahead and announce that if you haven't been checking your emails or maybe you just haven't seen them yet, um, we have some remaining annual requirements for student organizations. So we have the RSO management training, which used to be called the compliance modules. Those are open now and will be due April 30th. We have the disclosure of solicitation, which is just a fundraising report, which is also open now and due May 15th. And the end of year report, previously known as SOAR, will open April 15th and it's due May 31st. So I will be sharing that link momentarily so you all can read about it. You should be receiving emails about it as well, like updates, details, and things like that that you all may need. Let me see if I've shared it already. I will get that link to all right now. And yeah, I just want to go ahead and share while I have you all here. We do have one more or two more soap sessions. My apologies. Um, the next one is going to be about transitioning back to campus. So, things to kind of keep in mind. What can you expect to see and things like that. And then we will have a keynote session for the very last soap session for this semester. And then we will have one more Dave Kelly presentation about officer roles, responsibilities, and transitions. He is a great presenter. He always has such great content to be sharing with you all. Um, and yeah, I hope you all can stop and attend the next three soap sessions we have planned. Next, I just want to go ahead and share that we also have another program, MindTracker 101, that goes over tips and tools on how to best utilize MindTracker for your student organization. So we have one more elections on April 14th from 1:30 to 2, and you can find more details about this on MindTracker. All right, we have finally kind of started to wrap up today's session. I will be sharing the link to this assessment one more time. It is a quick assessment, definitely less than 10 questions, just to kind of gauge how today's presentation went, how we can improve, and future topics you all would like for us to cover as we now are planning ahead for next semester's SOAP sessions. And yeah, I just want to say thank you all again for joining. These sessions are recorded and posted onto YouTube. Um, You can also follow us on our social media platforms to find out when we are having and hosting other programs. So we are at UTEP SELC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And UTEP Student Engagement and Leadership Center is how you can find us on YouTube. And yeah, so thank you all so much for joining. We're a minute over time, so sorry about that, but I hope to see you all at the next one. Please reach out with any questions you all might have. I will be sharing that link to the SLC website about the annual requirements in case that's something you all need. I'll stay on the Zoom if you all have any questions. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Um, it was nice being able to share this information with you all. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.